The WNBA elevates. Remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up.
The WNBA is back, and with it, the return of one of the most electrifying rivalries in modern sports. What better way to start the season than a clash between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, a battle rooted in history, emotion, and unfinished business since the 2023 NCAA title game. Since that fateful college showdown, Clark has consistently come out on top. But Angel, she's desperate to flip the script. And from the opening tip of Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, it was clear, this was going to be more than a game. It was war. Two titans met at center court, former South Carolina teammates Aaliyah Boston and Kamilla Cardoso. And within seconds, the tone was set. Cardoso won the tip and sprinted down the floor like a freight train, receiving a crisp pass under the basket for the first points of the season. Chicago was making an early statement. We're bigger, stronger, and we came to play. But Indiana had something they didn't, a backcourt led by Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, a duo as fast and dangerous as any in the league. And it didn't take long for them to strike. Off a pick-and-roll action, Clark attracted attention at the top of the key, drawing Nurse's switch and pulling the defense with her. That's when she found Natasha Howard mismatched in the paint with the much smaller Courtney Vandersloot. Boston cleared the paint, dragging Cardoso out with her, and Howard punished the mismatch with ease. These were the kind of calculated plays the Fever worked all off-season to perfect, and now they were bearing fruit. Angel Reese, for her part, looked every bit the improved player she promised to be. She attacked with aggression, showcasing an upgraded handle, bulldozing her way into the paint, and finishing through contact. It was classic Angel, fiery, fearless, and unapologetically physical. But you know what else is classic? Caitlin Clark stepping over half court and casually pulling up from the logo.
The Indiana Fever are in a disastrous situation right now.
Boom. Her first bucket of the season, a 30-foot bomb, ignited the fieldhouse into chaos. The Fever played with breakneck pace, leaving Chicago's defense scrambling. Angel chucked up a three that bricked, and before the Sky could even get set, Mitchell exploded down the court, splitting defenders and finishing with grace. Her combination of speed and control was breathtaking. Meanwhile, Chicago leaned on their front court to answer. Vandersloot weaved around the baseline, feeding Cardoso, who then found Angel under the rim. She bullied her way to another easy score. But it wasn't always going to be that easy. Not with Aaliyah Boston protecting the paint. When Angel tried to fake and drive at her, Boston stood her ground like a brick wall and sent the shot flying into the stands. That block marked her 100th in the WNBA, and it was a thunderous reminder of who owns the interior in Indiana. The Sky did manage a brief spark when Nurse hit a jumper off an inbound, catching Indiana napping. But the Fever struck back with even more urgency. Clark pushed the tempo again, attacking the rim and drawing contact, though the whistle stayed silent. Angel grabbed the board and launched a full-court pass, Jokic style, to Nurse. 2-on-1, a smooth lay-in followed, and the Sky took the lead. Not for long. Mitchell was just heating up. She shook free off an Iverson cut and knocked down a three from the wing. 5 quick points. She was dialed in, and the Fever fed her hot hand. Allen hit a three for Chicago, then followed it up with a contested layup. But Natasha Howard wasn't having it. She glided through defenders for a putback, then scored with a smooth push shot from the post. Her strength and consistency inside caused havoc for the Sky, and with Howard drawing attention, Kelsey Mitchell got loose again, burying a catch-and-shoot three. Just like that, both Howard and Mitchell were up to 8 points each without missing a shot. And then came the filth. Mitchell squared up on Williams, danced on the perimeter, left her off balance, sliced through Angel Reese, and nearly converted one of the most dazzling plays of the year. She was fouled, but the message was loud. She's here, and she's a problem. As the quarter ended, chaos erupted. Clark raced to recover on defense as Angel bolted ahead in transition. With a clear path to the rim and time expiring, Reese had the perfect chance to deliver a momentum-shifting buzzer beater. But under the pressure of the spotlight and with Clark sprinting behind her, she bricked the wide-open layup. A cruel echo of past mistakes. First quarter done, Indiana up by 5. The second quarter began with a fireworks show. Rachel Banham stepped up and drilled a deep three off the dribble. On the other end, Sydney Colson tried to reverse a baseline layup but got stuffed. Lexi Hull, however, was everywhere. She cleaned up the miss, then moments later finished a brilliant transition sequence started by a magical Clark bounce pass. Hull wasn't done. On defense, she disrupted a pass, deflected it off the backboard, and kept the play alive. Clark collected it, sprinted to the rim, only to be met by Williams for a chase-down block. Chicago was fighting, but the Fever weren't backing down. Then, it happened, a moment of validation for Angel Reese. The Fever sagged off her at the top of the key, daring her to shoot. Angel responded with a confident release. Swish. Just her fourth career three in the WNBA, but an important one. The work was showing. But whatever pride Reese felt, it was short-lived. Dawana Bonner, 37 years old and still as sharp as ever, picked her pocket on a lazy crossover and cruised in for a layup. She wasn't missing open looks. Aaliyah Boston, relatively quiet in the first, announced herself. Off a pick-and-roll with Clark, she faked out Cardoso so badly the rookie needed a bus ticket to get back in the play. Boston's pump fake, dribble, finish combo was pure gold. Clark returned to the spotlight moments later. Coming around a Boston screen, she hit the brakes and shook Ariel Atkins with a gorgeous pull-up at the elbow. Down the other end, Chicago ran a slick pick-and-roll between Vandersloot and Angel. The seven-time assist queen dropped a pocket pass, and Reese found Cardoso for a close-range jumper. Their chemistry was improving, but it wasn't enough. Back the other way, Bonner found Howard inside, who flattened Vandersloot like a pancake and scored. Then came more Clark-Boston magic. A pick and pop, a give and go, a mid-range jumper. It was clinical. Indiana extended their lead to double digits. Even when Angel made a nice pass to Michaela for a bucket, Boston swatted it away with her third block. On the next Fever possession, she faked a handoff to Clark, fooled the defense, and drove all the way to the rim. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody stopped her. Chicago responded with an off-ball screen to free Rebecca Allen for a corner three, which she nailed. Nurse scored in the post over Clark, and for a moment, the sky showed signs of life. But Boston wouldn't let them get close. She boxed out Williams, scored through contact, and converted the and one. The half ended with a trademark Caitlin Clark moment. Isolation, left wing, step back three over Nurse. Splash. The dagger before the break. Halftime stat line. Clark with 12 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. Angel Reese, 7 points, 9 rebounds. A war still brewing. And the second half, even more explosive. Mitchell burned baseline, drew defenders, and dropped it off to Howard for a lefty finish. Angel responded with an aggressive drive through contact. But then, Caitlin Clark took the reins again. In pick and roll with Howard, she spun, baited the defense, and dropped an unbelievable no-look dime behind Angel's back for a reverse finish. Jaw-dropping. Boston and Cardoso resumed their personal battle, with Boston faking the Brazilian out of her shoes and scoring again. Angel tried to answer, missing twice under the rim before Clark ripped the ball from her hands. Then came the viral moment. Angel shoved Howard to grab a board. No whistle. She drove to the rim. Clark met her, fouled hard, and sent her crashing to the floor. Then stared her down. Angel popped up, livid, and charged at Caitlin. Teammates and coaches rushed in. Chaos. Tension exploded. Clark walked away. Angel got a technical. So did Boston. Clark's foul was ruled flagrant, but the crowd erupted when Angel missed the free throw. Tactical foul? Sure. But also payback. Vandersloot scored an and one, but Boston popped out for her first three of the year. Then, she bullied Chicago inside again for 2 more. The Fever went on another run. Clark added a deep 3. The crowd lost it. And just like that, it was a 20-point game. Fourth quarter, Clark on triple-double watch. She hits another bomb from 30 feet. Finds Mitchell in transition. Another assist. Angel still fought, spinning past Clark for a layup, but it wasn't enough. Clark and Boston ran another perfect 2-woman action. A bounce pass in traffic, Boston cashes in. That assist gave Clark her 10th. Then came the ultimate flex. Clark pulling up from 3 over Cardoso. She didn't need to do it, but she wanted to. And she nailed it. The Fever didn't let up. Boston ran point, dropped a dime to Mitchell. A reverse. Another block. Another steal. The Sky couldn't breathe. Haley Van Lith checked in for her WNBA debut, scoring a floater over Clark. Dewana Bonner hit free throws to move into third on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. A beautiful moment. And then Clark grabbed her 10th rebound to secure the first triple-double of the WNBA season. Final score, Indiana Fever 93, Chicago Sky 58. A 35-point demolition. Caitlin Clark with 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Aaliyah Boston, 19 and 13. Mitchell and Howard added 15 each. Lexi Hull nearly double-doubled. It was domination and humiliation for Angel Reese and the Sky. If you made it to the end of this video and want to support real storytelling and real coverage, not AI-generated garbage, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Fever Classic. The WNBA season is just heating up. And Caitlin Clark? She's just getting started.